She couldn't speak. Her mouth didn't work. She had long brown hair, and there was a computer that was rigged to the front of her chair. This is how Melanie talked. Check this out. She'd type her words on that keyboard, just like this. And when she was done, she'd hit the red button at the top right-hand side. And then the two speakers rigged to the back did all the talking for her. Good stuff. Good stuff. And whenever she ate her lunch, her fries and her fry sauce oftentimes would end up on the floor, on her lap, on her shirt. And folks, I hope I can share this with you. She even drooled out of one side of her mouth whenever she ate. And me and my buddies in the corner, we thought it was kind of funny. Due to our lack of what? Vision. Remember what we're talking about tonight? Due to our lack of vision. In fact, one day after school, after ball practice, me and the entire team were at my house, downstairs in my bedroom, door closed. Guess whose name comes up in our conversation somehow? Hey, comes up, and we all kind of start to laugh a little bit. There comes a knock at my bedroom door, folks. Door opens up, and guess who's standing there? No, not my mother. I wish it would have been my mother. My father. A lot worse. Hey, my father could have belted me that night for what came out of my mouth, but he didn't. Why? Because he had a greater vision. Check this out. My dad walks into the room. 10, 11 of us sitting on the bed right there. 10 or 11 of us. Sits on the bed with us, and this is all he says. Hey, he didn't spend 12 seconds there. Sits on my bed, and he says this. There was a kid that was in his high school a few years back, Green River, Wyoming. Nobody really knew who he was. Nobody paid attention to him. Nobody got connected with him. See, some of you are starting to get it right now. Some of you are understanding what I'm trying to say to you. Nobody got connected with him. Hence, the kid was never able to perform any results. Nobody knew his name until, get this, 2 years after my dad left high school, everybody knew who that kid was. Do you know why? He was in the obituary section because he took his life. That's all my dad said. Got up off my bed, walked out of the room, and he left me and the team to just sit there. Here's the kicker. Next day of school, same situation for lunch. I'm sitting back there having pizza with my buddies. Where's Melanie Brona sitting? In the middle. When, guess who walks into my high school? A man with a vision. Who just so happened to be who? Yeah. Somebody special? He wasn't a teacher. He wasn't a principal. Just somebody who was willing to open up his mind. Kind of like what I'm asking you to do tonight. Walks into my high school, and some of you might think this is funny, and that's all right. You put yourself in my shoes for 2 seconds in front of a group of kids in a room this size having lunch. Just for 2 seconds. Dad walks into my high school, walks over to the principal's office, gets him out of his office, brings him over to my table, and my father says this. Chad, where's Melanie sitting? Exactly. Reluctantly, I said, Father, that's her right there with the long brown hair and the computer on her chair. Right there, that's her. He said, I want you and the team to follow me right now. What do you do when something like that happens to you in your life? You get your butt up out of the chair and you follow your father over the table if you had a father like mine. And we did. All 11 of us. When we get over to her table, he does this. Think about this as it pertains to tonight. To vision, getting connected, energizing, getting results. He taps her on the shoulder and he says, hey, Melanie, my name is Kelly Hymas. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are. Hey, and this is my son, Chad. He's the captain of the basketball team. And these are all of his buddies. And he named every team player by name. Then he asked her this question. Listen carefully. He said, Mel, how would you like to go to McDonald's today and grab a milkshake with all of us? Listen carefully to her response. She typed on her computer, I'm sorry, sir, but my mother won't let me go out with strangers. I thought that was a classic response. Great response coming from Melanie. So they took Melanie over to the principal's office, called Melanie's mother at work. Did y'all hear what I just said? Don't forget that. Don't. I'll get back to that in a second, because that was new for me. With all due respect to you ladies that work for a living, which I think is wonderful, where was my mother when I was in high school? Yeah. She was at home. So it was kind of new for me. Hey, got permission from Mom, and then my dad. Watch this. He flipped the switch on the back of her electric chair, pushed her back out to the middle of all of you. Of all of you. I watched this. He then put his hands up underneath her numb legs, lifted her up out of the electric wheelchair so that all of you would see it. Why? He carried her out to our family car, set her in the passenger seat, and then he stuffed me, the principal, and 10 of my buddies into a car that only seats 6 people. My father lacked safety vision. I want to share that with you. Lacked safety vision. We went to McDonald's that day, and guess what happened at McDonald's? Check this out. Me and my buddies, all 11 of us, we fed her the strawberry shake with the little plastic spoon. Melanie always had a towel on her lap. I failed to mention that to you. Why did she have the towel on her lap? Somebody help me with that. Remember? And so we as a team grabbed the towel. True story, folks. True story. Made the news. We grabbed the towel and we wiped it off so that she would be somewhat presentable. And as we did this for this girl, whom I never got connected with before that day, what did she type away on the keyboard? Somebody say it. Like, hey, 10 times. Thank you. And then she'd hit repeat. Thank you. Repeat. Thank you. And then she informed us of the following information. She'd been born like this. Look. Her hands had always looked this way, always cringed and curled. She'd been in that chair since she was a baby. She'd been typing on that